Peace, family. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim family. Yo, we back again. You know, got one of my young gods right here.
Peace.
You know what I mean?
Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods. It's Johnnie Konan. Man, salute right now. I gotta say salute to the God. Peace, yeah, man. Peace. Because what we got going on right now, we're building. And basically, we want to build on black Christianity and just our culture in Christianity. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question, bro.
Yes, sir. This
is for y'all, but I'm talking to the God right now. Why is it that we go to any? If either one of us go to any other religious establishment, a church, or whatever the case may be, their God or their deity, they resemble them to a T, to the skin complexion, to features in the face, to the hair. You can see the genetics there. And but the block is in Christianity with black Christians. Every black church. Okay, I was born Catholic. When I was born into Christianity through Catholic. Had my first communion and all that. But I noticed at a young age, and I would look up and I would see that the Jesus Christ that the Holy Bible talks about didn't resemble no people within our culture that has our skin tone, that has our hair. Thus, it says it there clearly in the Bible. So that's my question for y'all, and also for you, God. Can you elaborate with me on that? What's your perspective on it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, true indeed. Well, you know, we've always been given a false sense of, God and, Jesus Christ and the prophets and what they look like. So, a lot of times when we, look at the Chinese person, they have their image of their God, like you said. The Indian person has their image of God. The white man has his image of God.
True,
but as Marcus Garvey said, where's the black man's image of God? So this is what we try to do as far as like black consciousness, is trying to show an individual that God within themselves, so that they can see the likeness of their creator within their own self. You know what I'm saying? So, that's something that's real, deep within the Christian roots of the black church. We had to eventually come up with our own black theology because, through slavery, the Caucasian man took that away from us.
True,
He took our name, our language, our culture, our religion, our God, our everything that we had. He took that away from us and then taught us how to eat the wrong foods, as our lessons teach, as the 5%. He taught how the babies how to eat the wrong foods, and he lied to them when they were babies. So now that they're grown men or big men, they still have this natural fear of the slave master. So, it's a lot that comes with that. It's psychological, basically.
Psychological. I like that you said psychological.
I think Minister Farrakhan said one time, he said, Christians always say, well, it don't matter. As long as it's Jesus, I don't care if he was a white man, a black man, it don't matter. Jesus was the... And Minister Farrakhan said, well, evidently somebody, it mattered to somebody if they went to the extent to have to change it.
It mattered to, I want to chime in on that.
Yeah.
God, pardon your wisdom.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And it has to be a mass of people, because with that comes control.
Yes. Yeah.
Divide, conquer, control.
True indeed.
Just to build off what you just said, man, if you look today, right now in society, and see what's going on within our culture, it's been going on, men and women they're becoming fertile through the food that we're not supposed to eat.
Right.
Even with hormones.
Right.
You have masculinity decreasing through subliminal messages, through television, through food. That's intentionally done, and that's what I believe. I believe it's been a strategy for the longest, and that's intentionally done, as well as uplift our black women to a degree, because a portion of our black women, once they get to a certain level and they're allowed to make more income than we're I wouldn't say allowed, but we have to do double or triple the work to grasp that position or that career or that job title when a woman can, a black woman, our queen, could just walk in there and take that. And they use that as to, you know, to go back to psychological. They use that to get in the psyche of the woman.
Female,
So when she goes home, she's a woman. She's built on emotion. So when she comes home after a long day of work, come on, it wasn't that long ago. The man was going and doing all day work. Woman taking care of the house. That wasn't long ago, bro. That was maybe 5 decades, not even that long ago. So with that being said, it's happening at a rapid pace. And if we can't see it within ourselves first, and also be able to, I wouldn't say don't, you know, just put anybody under the bus, or you have to be strategic about it, because at the end of the day, that also sets up a situation to where it's a divide and conquer within the household. And in your kingdom, you can't have if your queen with you in your kingdom, you know, that divide and conquer, that's big, bro.
True indeed. I mean, that's basically what it is. You know, it's a divide and conquer method, you know, that's done on a psychological level and placed in black people, in particular the black female, to make them go in that type of, you know, crazy behavior, you know, that she's, you know, that we see a lot
thoughts.
Of, you know,
even thoughts. And because a lot of them, I love everyone, you know, unconditionally. I just do. I mean, it is what it is. Even if we had beef in the past, you know, it's nothing. But when our women, our black women, get this psychological thing going on, that I don't know what it does, man. It's crazy, because you can, man, it hurts me. It hurts me to see it. It hurts me to see it. Like, as a woman, a black woman, if you're a queen, there's no reason you should ever kick your king if he's down, because he's in a battle. We're in a constant battle. We all are within a culture. So with that being said, just by the black woman being allowed to, you know, have the most income in the household, easily done. I mean, very easily done. She can do this very easily with little knowledge, no degree even. That's the biggest psyche dilemma right there that she and he would face, because if I would think like this, man. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's subliminally done, and if you can't see that, it's like a chess game. Even in that sense, and it's in so many different circles, on different circles, to where, you know, we can just build on it all day.
I mean, at the end of the day, the main point is, you know, we want to look at the root, because as gods, this is what, you know, we do. The God always goes back to the root of the problem to find out what's the solution. The root of the problem is that a little over 400 years ago, you know, our people were brought over here to North America, to the shores of North America, and this is what sparked that whole psyche or twist of the brain, if you know, to make our women be turned against us, and vice versa, we turned against them. You know what I'm saying? Never before was this ever done to no other human being on the planet. You know, this is the reason why what happened to us is a divine thing that's spoken of in the scriptures. In the Bible, it talks about the people being taken to a far off land and being turned inside out to hate themselves. That's us. So we always go back to the root of the problem, because see, if we start now, then we'll be like, oh, the black woman is a diss. And she'll be like, oh, the black woman is a diss, calling us out our name, and we calling each other, and we don't understand each other.
See, and that's
got to go back to the root.
Go back to the root.
You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't take the Caucasian man out of it. The white man is still in it, because at the end of the day, this is his system that he created. This is his thought or his psyche that he created for us, you know, on a genetic level.
On a genetic level, and really, because
that shit has affected our DNA.
Hey,
you know,
definitely, God, ain't true indeed, because you stole it right out, and He just intercepted that. Everything you just said, I was just finna say that, man. You just got out. It's true like that, man, and it's divine, man. But man, I feel like what you're saying right now is absolutely true. And also, we have to see this as a whole. Our women have to see this first, because women, you're very powerful. As a woman, for a king, y'all are our backbone.
Yeah,
you build our strength. So it starts at home.
True indeed. I did a build on that. I want to say, y'all will probably soon, y'all will catch it, on the M.G.C network as well. Where I talked about, the black woman being God. She is a God. Just like the Caucasian man. The white man is a God, but the black man is the God. So, the black woman is God's feminine side, or his feminine self. That's the black woman.
True indeed.
True indeed. But at the end of the day, she's a God, because when you a baby coming out of your mother, that's the only God you know. You don't know nothing about, no concept of God or what the scriptures say of God. You don't, a baby don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? All a baby knows is that when they hungry, they crying out. And who are they expecting to come?
The God, their God.
And who's their God? Who they're looking for as the God?
The mother, the maternal. It's maternal.
Your mother is your first God by nature.
By nature, yes indeed. True indeed.
Before you know anything of God, whenever you cry, whenever you want, whenever you need, whenever you are hurting and suffering, you call on mama. You cry out for mommy.
True.
Even of course, daddy, eventually as well comes, but initially coming out of that womb, that's the first, because you came from her when they cut the umbilical cord.
True indeed.
I mean, that connection, but y'all are still connected. When she breastfeeds the baby and stuff, that's bonding that takes place. That between a mother and a child.
Right.
In the hospital, in the nursery, or whatever. That's your God. However, when you turn 12, 13, 12. That's interesting.
It's very interesting.
I think in the Jewish faith, they have what they call bar mitzvahs.
Bar mitzvah, yeah.
And, around that age, 12, 13. In the Islamic faith, it's in pretty much in every culture, symbolically. 12 or 13. Around that age, there's another cutting of the umbilical cord. That's the mother. Now she's not your God no more. The black woman ain't no God no more. She's not your God no more. You got to start looking for God now. And where you go look, most people go looking all over the world. But you start right there.
Within.
Now you find the God of yourself, and the black man is the God. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we teach her.
No, true.
We teach her culture. That's why we call the black woman the earth. Or she's, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad described the black woman as a planet. Or I'm sorry, excuse me, not a planet, but a field.
Okay.
Where you plant seeds. And the father, in our nation, the father called her earth.
Clarence 13X.
Brother Clarence 13X, whom we call a father, Father Allah, you know what I'm saying? But yes, sir, when he left the mosque, he was Brother Clarence 13X. He said that the black woman is an earth, which was in accord with what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, to show you where his root came from.
Okay.
See, a lot of people like to split the father, a lot of these, Iblis gods and these, fake gods out here and stuff, using these teachings, splitting our teachings up. No, the father's root was the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The father would not have been successful in what he was doing with the youth had he not followed the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's program. So that's important to understand and note right there. So the messenger and the father both said that the black woman is earth. She's like a field. The messenger said you plant a seed and you nurture that seed and till to the soil until the seed is grown to whatever magnanimous proportions it can, be raised to. So that's the black woman. So we teach her culture. We plant our seed in her. And we teach her culture, and then therefore she passes that on to the seed, the baby.
The seed, that's the understanding.
So she's the baby's first teacher.
Wow, that's deep.
So it's kind of like yin and yang, or kind of like, you know, infinite, you know, the infinity, you know, like, you know, we teach her, she teach us in return as babies. The God taught her, now she teach us as the baby. The God taught her, we teach her as, but you know, you know what I'm saying?
It's a cipher. It's a cipher.
It's a cipher. It's a cipher. You know what I mean? You know, so true indeed. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, in studying, or like I said, this conversation can go around the block and around all over the place, but at the end of the day, when looking at black Christianity and black Christians, at the end of the day, our people suffer because they lack a knowledge of themselves.
True indeed. I concur with you on that. And also, just the politics as well. I mean, well, not just, excuse me, the politics as well. I'm going to add that in there because definitely that I've been to different churches, from Pentecostal church, Baptist, Catholic, non-denominational church, different churches, sanctified. They all were quite different. They all were quite different. Different teachings, different way of teachings as well. I mean, I don't put nothing down on nobody that, you know, that wants to go into the Bible and be, you know, want to say they're Christian and they really don't understand what they're talking about. And see, that's what's wrong with our culture. We're confused within what we read. And a lot of us take what we read out the Bible, you know, out of proportion, or we might not really, we might overanalyze something, or we might take something too literal. When the genius in us, the God in us, keep it simple.
Right.
It'll come right to you.
Right.
And once we all come together, that's when I think we truly will, you know, create more of an integration within our culture as far as religion goes. I think of it as spirituality because I'm a spiritual person, period. Peace to the gods. But just from life lessons, learning and life experiences in different churches, and just feeling the different vibes and energies, and even seeing in some churches the different strategy and rhetoric that was used, you know, it's pretty hurtful. You know,
feeling the different vibes and
yeah, true.
Because I mean, you know, in there, you know, like as the Most Humble Elijah Muhammad said, you know, the white man never taught us Jesus. You know, the knowledge, the intellectual aspect of what Jesus taught. You know, he always taught us Jesus emotional, right? Emotional, you know.
Right, and see, that's the quickest way to get
you
somebody.
Know, that's why I was laughing when you did that, because you know this is how we were taught God in a comedic way, a silly way, an immature way. You know, I mean,
psyche.
Yeah, psyche. You know, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with dancing and stuff like that, because of course that represents culture. Like in our culture, started on in America, hip hop. That's you know. I mean, that's how dance is a part of that. But at the end of the day, we want to attract the minds and the intelligence of the youth. So in trying to do that, it's not all just rhythm and blues and song and dance. Right. You know, our people have to get in a book and read. We have to go back in that Bible and we have to extract the truth out of it. Because there's truth in the Bible.
Yes, indeed, true indeed. You know, I'm glad you said that.
And as 5%ers, you know, we read both Bible and Quran. We're Muslims, you know, we're Muslim gods. We read the Bible and we read the Quran. We read both books. Both books. You know what I'm saying? When we came over here to North America, we didn't know nothing about no Bible. That was something that was taught to us falsely. Getting back to that, you know, white Jesus and the, you know, blonde hair, blue eye or whatever. But the Quran, we knew about that. We had that in Africa. You know what I'm saying? We dealt with high spirituality and, you know, African spirituality, voodoo. You know, well, you know, we did all of that. You know, but at the end of the day, we say we say that we are Muslims because a Muslim is a melanated individual. A melanated human being of high intelligence. You know, as we know, science proves that melanin accounts for individuals' intelligence. You know, the sharpness of his, you know, the acuity of his thought and ideas, and the way he can shape and formulate plans. And
that's interesting.
African people or black people, you know, Asiatic people, original people, we have that in us naturally.
Yes, naturally.
because we're melanated people.
Naturally.
You know what I'm saying?
That's wow.
So this is how we define the word Muslim. We define Muslim as a melanated human being. One who in his pineal gland can produce melanin. You know what I'm saying? That is a Muslim. I just want to make that clear. Because the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says our people were Muslims when they came over here to North America. But something happened that we forgot who we were.
Something happened.
Something happened and we forgot who we were. Well, we know what happened. You know, we were hit with a white theology. So that's why we had to eventually go and create a black theology of Jesus. You know, but we had a white theology, and that white theology was what was twisting our minds.
Brainwashed, straight brainwashed, man. And it was ran through fear. A lot was ran through fear. Also, it was what we spoke about. We built on a little bit earlier with the separation, divide and conquer.
He's a big man.
You know what I mean? And come on, and even right now, if you go back and look at a few movies they put out recently in the past few years about slavery, they show you right in the movies. It's right there. It's right there. Just open your eyes. It's right there.
You know, definitely. In the Bible, in the book of Revelations, it says that, you know, the devil in the last days is going to be revealing all kind of truths about himself. Not about you, but really about himself. But at the end of the day, the white man revealing truths about himself is actually revealing truths about us.
True indeed.
You know, because he's showing you who he is. So likewise, that should show you who you are. You know, because he's showing you he's a devil.
That's polarity right there.
He's showing you that he's wicked. He's showing you he can murder babies and do the most wicked, heinous stuff with no regard.
With no regard.
He's showing you he can bomb a nation and let off an atomic missile, and he's showing you this. So what does that make you? You know what I'm saying? You know, because somebody has to put an end to this madness. You know? So, you know, like I said, man, this was definitely a good bill, you know what I mean? You know, and we're going to definitely keep touching on this. These are just conversations with newborns, you know, and we want to just build with the masses and just, you know, because like I said, at the end of the day, we trying to establish truth.
Truth.
You know, Islam is truth. You know what I'm saying? Islam is an African practice. You know, Muslims are African people, but at the end of the day, we not talking about no religion. We ain't talking about no alhamdulillah, I'm doing all and no. We don't do all of that all day long. What we do is we build. Because this is our prayer. This is our salat. Study what dhikr means in Arabic. It's the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with that, family, it's Brother Fahiym, aka Daysun of God.
Johnnie Konan.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? This is just part one. We going, you know, we want y'all to, you know, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be coming back with all kind of bills. You know what I'm saying? You know, the gods is going to be really, you know, giving it to the people. You know what I mean?
Yo, pardon your wisdom, God. Like, another thing before we check out, you know, before we sign out, I just want to put this out there. You know, to all the subscribers and all the people that are watching and listening, we're not, like he said, we're just building on spirituality. And we're not putting the Bible out there as a bad thing. Like he said, as a 5% nation, we study both books.
Right.
Both books. And I believe as a wise person, you would want to study both books.
Right. Exactly. Sure.
So that's the God in us.
Definitely.
True.
So definitely stay tuned because we're going to be giving y'all both books. We ain't, you know, discriminating against nobody.
Exactly.
Like Allah says in the Quran, you know, we don't distinguish, between the prophets and stuff. We follow all of the prophets and what they taught because all of them came from God. They all came with really one book. The book of mathematics.
Mathematics.
Universal mathematics. You know, or as we say, Islam. You know, because Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. You know, so with that, you know, this is just part one. We got like a little series of these bills coming on. Hit the subscribe button. The M.G.C network. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths.